Hello folks, long time no see. I'm here today to do some commentary on Peter Jackson's latest, The Hobbit and The Hobbit Desolation of Smaug. I'm going to do a short commentary on the first movie and then move on to do a kind of review on Desolation of Smaug. Those of you who have not read the book, preferably more of Tolkien's lore, preferably every single Middle-earth text Tolkien ever published, or watched either of these movies, I'd suggest you to turn the video off. This video will contain spoilers, a lot of them. First part will only contain spoilers of Tolkien's written works and the last year's movie. So if you are up to date on everything except this year's Hobbit movie, you can still stay on. Okay. I really loved the first movie. The music world was great. Big thanks to Howard Shore on that one. Well, they started the movie off a bit like in the Lothar trilogy, Fellowship of the Ring, where there was a battle scene that happened in the past, in the beginning, where the bad guy lost hand. Yeah. That's a similarity, and Thorin Oakenshield has been blamed for being Aragorn copy. I really don't see that. Because Richard Armitage, in a lot of ways, does a great job, and I don't see much of resemblance between Aragorn and Thorin. Aragorn is sympathetic, Thorin is selfish, self-centered prick. Aragorn is like a Mr. Nice Guy compared to him, so I really can't see any comparison, except for both have black hair. Yeah. Beside, if you ask from me, Richard Armitage really does a better job than Viggo Mortensen ever did as Aragorn. Yeah. As for other characters in the first movie, Christopher Lee. Oh, I gotta love that guy. Too bad he couldn't make it to New Zealand, so his scenes had to be shot in England because he's not able to travel anymore. Well, he's around 90, isn't he? So, well, what would you expect? They have a load of great actors and who fit their roles really well. Martin Freeman, Sir Ian McKellen, Sir Christopher Lee, Richard Armitage, and the guy who plays Elrond. I never really remembered his name. For me, he was the guy who was in Matrix, the bad guy in Matrix, and then he was the guy who plays Elrond. So Hugo something. And the story was expanded from the Hobbit book, but followed logical trail and was made a bit more action-packed than it was necessary to be in the movie, but all worked well. I'd actually be giving the first Hobbit movie 3D worked fine. I have glasses, I hate 3D, and I still liked the 3D in last year's Hobbit movie. So they are doing something right, obviously. It was good thing that they only showed small parts of Smaug in the first movie. Radagast, I did not like. He was made too silly. So, he was made too silly to be a good Radagast, because Radagast was friend of all animals, not that kind of. Well, nut job full of shrooms and shit. I didn't like that part, but I think that's the only minus in the first movie. I'm really not used to doing this kind of thing, really. Okay, we're moving on to the movie I saw on Saturday. Again, I'll give you 5 seconds to shut the video. I'm moving on. Desolation of Smaug was a huge disappointment to me. I was waiting for the movie for a year, and then it turns out to be full of shit. Okay, so it takes on where it was left off last year. Running. Once the eagles dropped them off, they had to run away from Azog, where they take shelter from Bairn. Bairn is a good character in the movie, but has too little screen time, and something Bairn says is not in accordance of the law of Middle-earth. Bairn says that he's the last of his kind, whereas according to the law, I think there weren't that many, but there were some of the skin changers left. So I have to say I'm disappointed. Well, it was in order to demonize Azog even more, but Azog is supposed to be dead. So yeah, complicated. Well, they go to the forest, they battle spiders, elves show up, take them as prisoners, Bilbo goes invisible, saves their asses, they go to Lake Town, they're greeted as heroes, saviors, they go to the mountain, they provoke Smaug to go to Lake Town, and there the movie ends. I expected we would start off in the third movie with the Battle of 5 Armies, but apparently not. Everything that was in accordance to the book was done poorly. Everything that was not in accordance of the book was done great. So my reaction to Desolation of Smaug is complicated. On the other hand, I like the movie as a movie. but as a Hobbit movie, that's just not right. Well, I believe that whereas I would give the first Hobbit movie 4 to 4.5 stars, from 1 to 10 score, it's a solid 8.5. So this movie would have a 7. Not all that bad, but not all that brilliant either. So there were lots of great roles. Stephen Fry as Master of Lake Town, he was brilliant. Benedict Cumberbatch as voicing both the Necromancer / Sauron and Smaug, and he did a really great job. Martin Freeman was really good Bilbo, and again, Thorin was most likely the best thing in the movie. Ian McKellen was good, but not at his best, but he was definitely good. Then, well, I really did not fancy the idea of the tutorial character put in the movie, but I think the character works fine in the movie. It's not all bad. On the other hand, well, I'll have to talk about the elves anyway. I don't really fancy elves that much, but in Tolkien's lore they are okay. Thranduil's character is great. He's ancient High Sindar, almost 10,000 years old, and full of shit. He's self-centered. He cares for none but himself, and orders the borders sealed when Sauron starts the move. Legolas, on the other hand, is not a part of the original lore, but unlike Lord of the Rings trilogy's Legolas, Orlando Bloom, I can't believe I'm saying that, I hate Orlando Bloom as an actor because he's a bad actor, but I'll say this much: Orlando Bloom's performance as Legolas in Desolation of Smaug makes me think whether I should give Orlando Bloom a lot more credit. He did good. He did really good, in accordance to my opinion of him, at least, and he was one of the best things in the movie. So I'll have to give him the points. And the battle between Bolg and Legolas was an interesting fight. It was one of the highlights of the movie. On the other hand, one of the worst parts of the movie was the battle between dwarves and Smaug. On the first place, that was never supposed to happen. On the second place, it took far too long at the end of the movie. So the dwarves were only supposed to provoke Smaug into leaving the mountain and attack the lake town. They screwed it up. They screwed it up really bad. Yeah. Well, fuck you, Jackson. You really screwed up this time. Not too bad. Not like George Lucas bad, but you screwed up. As overall, I'm disappointed. As I said, it's a solid 7, but it could as well be a 6. It would be a 6 if not for Stephen Fry and Orlando Bloom, and of course Martin Freeman and Benedict Cumberbatch and Richard Armitage. That's the group of 5 actors you, Peter Jackson, have to thank that your movie didn't fall apart. Okay, that's all. Maybe I'll do better next time, but I hope. And I'll see you later on.